Good morning, Year 10. Today I'm going to show you how you can edit your pictures using the website pixlr.com. So if you're on the home page of the website, you should see this. Now, some of you may have already finished your edits on different programs or even on this website. Most of you, I imagine, have not yet done this, so you can go watch this video to understand how to do it and then edit the pictures you took from last week's task. So if we can recall, we're doing work in the style of Aaron Siskind, so we want to look for highly contrasted and black and white images. Okay, so for pixlr, there are actually two versions of this website. One is pixlr and one is pixlrx. Pixlr is a little bit more complicated, so if you want to give it a go, by all means try it out. Pixlrx is absolutely fine for our purposes, so I'll show you how to do that. So you click on pixlrx and you can open image. I'm going to choose one of the pictures I have ready. This is one of dried leaves from last week's photo shoot, and it opens up here. Now, one thing you may have been confused about is you have the layers there on the side. You can, add different layers to your work. We're not going to be using it now, but it's useful to know because the program Photoshop works the same way. I always think of layers like imagining a book, so you can see what's through the page if you make it see-through or cut out holes. Imagine this page is layered on top of each other. So that one you can see is a blank layer now, but if I wanted to, I could put another image on top, it would cover this image, or I could put a treatment or an effect on top, and then I could control through the layers if I wanted it to show through or not. But that's something we might go into later on. But if you want to, you can have a play around by using layers. So, first thing I'd like to do is crop my image. Now, this isn't always necessary, but I think for this one, I want it to be a little bit more zoomed in on this section of the image. Now, I'm choosing this one because I have this lighter colored leaf here and this darker colored leaf here, so I'll have some more contrast. I also quite like this organic shape of the stem, so that creates quite a nice bit of symmetry with this leaf here. So once I have my area, I will press apply, and it's cropped my image, so it's kind of zoomed in a little bit more. The next thing is I'm going to adjust. You see the problems come up here is I don't have the right layer selected, so I need to make sure the blue square is around the image I'm working on. So I could go and make it black and white here, which works pretty well, but I'll show you how to do it manually. So I can go to saturation and bring that down. If I wanted to have a little bit of color, I could leave some warmth in, but I'm going to make it black and white. And here in the light section, we can have a play with how we want the contrast to show. So all of these elements here would refer to how you would take the picture on the camera. So how much exposure, how much light would you expose to the lens? So if you had a lot of exposure, it would look like this. If you didn't allow the camera to take a long picture, it'd be darker. Now, I like it being quite a bit darker, actually, so this lighter colored leaf is more prevalent. There we go. Now, with all of these edits, I'm thinking of how can I make this look a little bit more abstract. So how can I make it look slightly accentuated and more dramatic? Now, these, I don't think we need to use these for this image, but highlights and toning could be an interesting feature to try and add in later on. So I'm quite happy with the tones there, so I'll press apply. Filters, I think, are not really relevant for this style. The vignette could work quite well, especially maybe with this image I'll use a little bit. Fringe is definitely not for this edit what we're looking for, along with these other ones as well. But it's good to know what's available, because when you go and produce work from your images later on, it might be useful. Now the effects, again, same thing. They could be good to use, but everything we've done in the adjustment section is the same concept that you're working with on the effects. If I press too old, that's a similar effect to what I've done. So I don't think we actually really need that, but it could be something to try out. That's quite nice. I personally prefer to adjust it manually so I can get the exact effect I want. Liquify might be an interesting thing to try out if you wanted to edit the actual picture. It doesn't really link with Aaron Siskind's work, but I'll just show you briefly how it works in case you want to try it out. It doesn't seem to be working here on the computer, so maybe another time. Same with retouch and drawing. Good to know how it works, so feel free to try it out, but it's not really relevant for what we're doing. So I'm happy with this picture now. If I go and press save, one thing I would say is to make sure that you have the name of your document as something recognizable. So dried leaves, edit, JPEG is usually good. JPEG means you can easily open it on any computer. Quality, I'd put that to 100%, why not? High quality image, and then you press download. And I'm going to go directly as save as here. That you might have a different computer that works differently, so I can save it in a folder where I know where to find it. So that's saving. Finish downloading, and now if I go to my folder, I can find my dried leaves edit picture there. So complete this for all of the photographs you've taken, and I'll just go through and edit another picture here so you have another example of how to do it. If you have any questions, let us know. The key thing I want you to learn is how to use these tools. They're really, really useful, and they can really help you progress in your work, because editing and using first-hand resources is really, really essential for your GCSE course. So I'm going to try one of the man-made textures I have. I think I called it corrosion. There we go. Do the same thing. So I think I'm quite happy with the shape, so I'm not going to change it. And to adjust, just kind of stuck on Liquify. Sometimes I find this website kind of freezes if you go to a different image and you just need to go to the home screen again and access it again. Let's try that again. Corrosion, open, adjust. There we go. So made it black and white. Now the problem with putting a high contrast sometimes means that you lose some of the detail, so be careful when you are doing that. I think I might try out one of the effects to see how that would look. I think I prefer. I like the grain on this one. I feel like it adds a little bit more detail to the image. Okay, I think I'm happy with that one now. Save, corrosion, edit, download. Save as, corrosion, edit, save. Now you can use your own editing software if you have it. If you have Photoshop or even the editing software on your phone can be really good. I think Miss Dillon did some really good edits just using the program PowerPoint. It has quite a few options. The key thing is to get used to the idea that you're taking pictures as a primary resource that you'll then be editing and using to produce your artwork as we go forwards. So let us know if you have any issues. I hope you found this useful. It's a bit of a different style of screencast to what we've had before. The key thing is edit your pictures, send them to your teacher. That'll be a fantastic progress on your project.